buy organic? Does anyone know?
I can't stand pesticides.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
That's so big.
Yeah, so organic, so I'm gonna put in there, protection from toxic pesticides. So that's number one. Number two, anyone else want to take a guess?
Maybe it's more nutrient dense.
You got it, yep. More nutrients.
Why would it be more nutrient dense just because it doesn't have the pesticides?
Exactly. So any of the genetically modified and like the non-organic produce, a lot of times is just made so that it looks pretty. So that's a really big thing, is that it's not necessarily healthier for you, but they want everything to look perfect and have like a pretty color and stuff. And so because of that, usually a lot of the nutrients are gone, or you're eating out of season, that type of thing. And so organic helps it to have more nutrients, because also usually it's the soil that it's grown into is usually an organic soil.
Makes sense.
And so it's just going to get more nutrients from the soil. Yes.
It's a richer soil.
Yep,
It's a
exactly.
cleaner
Yep.
soil.
And then it's also going to be more robust, because it has to, it's just like, I mean, us lifting weights. Like if you're not lifting weights and you're just kind of like, going through and you pick up a heavy box, you're going to be a lot more likely to not break, but, like get injured or something. But when you're lifting weights and your muscles are strong, you can go pick up a box and the likelihood of you getting hurt is a lot less. And so it's kind of the same thing with vegetables. Like the ones that are used to pesticides have gotten less robust and able to do things on their own, because they're relying on the pesticides to fight off the bugs for them. The ones that are not having to, or are having to do that on their own, are more robust because they have to fight off those bugs on their own. Or they just have developed over time the ability to withstand more, they've weathered
They've
more
naturally
seasons.
evolved
Yes,
versus
exactly.
chemically.
Exactly. So, does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Anyone need this any longer? Can I erase it?
But even organic has some type of pesticides.
So yeah, so that's the next thing, that we are going to talk about is, so you have to look, you ideally want pesticide free. The best way to find that is at a farmer's market, because there are farmers that will do pesticide free, even if they are organic. So you have to ask them when you go, like, what is your pest solution, as my sister says. And so a lot of them will say, like, either they just let them do it and it's okay if things have holes in it, like lettuce and that type of thing. Or some of them use organic pesticides, which is not as bad. Ideally, you would want ones that don't use any. And so that's going to be hard. You're pretty much not going to find that in the grocery store,
No.
which is why it's better to do local and in season. So
Is it just because the pests make the produce look ugly, or is it because they actually deliver something to the food that's not good?
So there are a couple of things. They'll eat it, so pests will start to eat it. So like I've seen that in my garden, where like the kale has like little holes in it from bugs that have eaten it, and when I pick it off, I have to scrape some bugs or little caterpillars off, which is fine. But you think about that, like if you're buying something in a grocery store, if you found a bug or like a pest on, you would be like, oh, that's gross. Even though it's like that's a normal part of it. But I think that's the main reason, is that, if you're buying food from the store, you would never. Whereas like if you buy produce that hasn't, like I've bought quite a few different types of lettuces and greens from, and if you get the ones that are pest free, they haven't used any pesticide free, then you are going to have like a lot of little bugs and things that it just takes longer to clean. So, and then a lot of times they'll get holes in them. Sometimes it'll like eat part of it. And so then, a farmer would say like, oh, this isn't able to sell in the grocery store, because grocery stores aren't going to buy fruits that have little holes in them, or, vegetables. So.
What's a good tip for, because I've had that before too, like broccoli and stuff, where they
Yeah.
kind of get in, like what do you just soak them?
Yeah, so I would soak. What I do now is like, so if I'm doing kale, what I do is I chop it up and then I'll put it in a big bowl of water. So I learned this too. And then all of the dirt and like bugs and everything will like usually fall to the bottom after you leave it for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then I pull it out, put it in a strainer. And then from there, then I'll like either strain it, or I'll put it on a towel and like dry it off really well and kind of like wipe it off to make sure that and sometimes you have to do that a couple of times depending on how dirty it is. So that's what I'd recommend doing. So instead of just like rinsing it off underwater, let it soak, and then things will kind of fall off, and then strain it, and then you might need to soak it a second time. So yeah. Any other questions? Ralston, you guys are quiet back there.
Soaking it
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so we're gonna go over the one. So I know we talked a little bit about how we want to make the most of your budget. So I know that's a huge limiting factor for a lot of people in buying produce. So this is gonna be the list of the dirty dozen. So these are the ones that have the most pesticides on them and the things that you really want to buy organic if possible. So anyone know any of the dirty dozen?
Strawberries.
Strawberries, yep, strawberries are usually right up there. So always buy organic, berries in general, but especially strawberries. You just think they have like a lot of pores and little holes and stuff, so always try to buy organic, especially as we're getting into summer. Farmers markets usually have really good organic berries, so I would strongly recommend getting those from farmers markets. So strawberries, yeah, that's number 2. Yeah, pretty much any leafy greens, fortunately, are going to have a lot of pesticides because there's a lot of surface area. So, anyone else? Celery? It is, yes. Wow, so good. Okay, kale is another one. I think kale is actually top of the list this year, so another one that's really important to. All right, yes, apples. Apples. So you'll notice a lot of these are the ones too that you eat the skin, because you're not going to, remove the skin before you eat it. So.
Grapes.
Are grapes on there? They are, yes. Grapes. Anyone else? So we got 6.
It's almost all of them.
Peaches or something?
Let's see. Peaches are there. Yep. Peaches.
So if they're perfect, there's a good chance they're pesticide.
Oh yeah, yeah, and especially if they're non-organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomatoes.
Or cucumbers.
Cucumbers are not on there. Tomatoes. Carrots are not on there. Yes, because they're underground. Nectarines. And by the way, this is the second one of the 2, so just in case you're confused. Cherries. Pears. And the last one is potatoes.
Oh, really? Because they're in the ground.
Yeah, I guess white potatoes. I guess that's not the same with sweet potatoes, but so. Everyone got those filled out?
So we
Yeah.
can't eat anything.
No, you can't. You just have to buy it organic. So that's where if you are like, oh, I don't know if I should buy this organic or not, because I know obviously organic's more expensive, these would be the things that you would want to buy organic. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Okay, then we're gonna go to the Clean 15. So these are the ones that you don't need to worry about as much. Ideally, you would buy everything organic, local, and in season. But I think when you're at the grocery store, if you're like, oh, what do I, how do I save money and not buy everything organic? These would be the ones that are okay to buy non-organic. Yeah, with the pesticides. A lot of it too is because you're able to wash it and cut into it and you're not actually eating the skin that the pesticides were on. Yep, yep, I think that's one of the Clean 15.
And I know I read that you should wash the outside of it before you cut.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're cutting that stuff into it.
Exactly, yeah. So when you cut into something like an avocado, it's gonna have the pesticides on the skin. So the first one's avocado. That's not spelled incorrectly, avocado. Okay. Number 2, anyone else? I think cantaloupe, that was one of them.
So be your melons, right?
Yeah, yep, yep. Spelled incorrectly, cantaloupe.
Broccoli?
Broccoli, I think is one. Yes, it is. Broccoli.
Which I understand is
I don't either. Yeah, because it has a lot of, you're eating everything. Yeah, surface area. I think, I was thinking about it maybe,
Pull off the outside.
yeah, I think the makeup, and it's not as sweet as some of the other ones, but I don't know. Because you would think, and I know when I bought broccoli, sometimes there is bugs like in the middle, like Christine was saying, so.
But they don't show on it in the store.
Yeah, exactly. Cauliflower, is another one. Anyone else?
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are not on there.
Surprised about
Honeydew is on there, you said that, right?
Yeah, I did put melons.
Okay, honeydew.
Citrus, like lemons, oranges.
Usually those not.
So they're not on either list.
Squash?
Mm-mm.
Oranges?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? No. No.
No carrots.
Cabbages.
Those are just
Yeah.
cabbages.
Cabbages, I know. Because it's a lettuce, I think, because it's so
Well, don't-
tight.
Lettuce
So I guess Brussels sprouts.
Broccoli and cauliflower and cabbages all grow in that sort of.
Yes, they do.
And where they have that
Right.
Yes.
protective leaf.
That's
Oh,
true,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
very
So
true.
I
Yeah.
don't like them that much.
Mushrooms.
Just to clarify, Nicole.
Yes.
P15, the other things are not necessary to buy organic.
Correct, yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're like, okay, this is really expensive, I know it's expensive to buy produce, then these would be the things that you could buy non-organic.
But bananas.
Sweet corn, which I don't know what the difference between that and normal corn, right?
So then our carrots on the green one?
No, they are not. All right, pineapples. Pineapples are another one. They have a big protective skin on them. Frozen sweet peas. Why not unfrozen? I don't know, but you know. But apparently, I don't know. Maybe because you don't really buy peas, you know, unfrozen. Most of the time you buy them frozen. So,
Well, you would have to husk them out.
Yeah.
They're in a.
well, you could buy them that are pre-husked.
Well, yeah, but if you
Yeah.
were buying them fresh, you're
That's
cutting
true.
them out of the pod.
Yeah, so
Which is
that's probably why. Yeah, so you could obviously buy fresh and peel them out of the pod yourself. Let's see what else. Kiwis. Kiwi.
Yeah, mangoes.
Oh, someone did say onions. Onions are on there. Mangoes are not. So onion is on there. Let's see what else. Papaya. Papaya. The next one, it does. It changes from year to year. So this is the most updated list. Let's see what else. Papayas, eggplants, and last one is asparagus.
So who puts out the list?
So it's like it's called the EWG, which stands for. Oh, let me see what it stands for. I always forget how to.
Environmental wellness groups.
Yes. Yes, EWG. That's it. That's it. I was like, I always forget the name. I know it's EWG. Yeah. So they go in and they test each year, like which is most likely having the most pesticides. So they go into stores and stuff like that, and they see EWG. So you can just look up.
No, it stands for Environmental
And-
Wellness Group.
Yes, thank you. And so they go in each year and they update this list. So that's why they said like this year, usually strawberries are at the top for the Dirty Dozen. This year I think it was kale. And they test a bunch of different types and they go into grocery stores and see which ones are most likely to have pesticides. So,
Is this a national list or local?
yeah, national list, yeah. So, yeah. Any other questions? So what we're going to do next is we're going to break up into partners, so just you and one other person. So maybe find someone that if you maybe haven't partnered with them before, just to get to know somebody new. So kind of move around, and what you're going to do with your partner is you're going to share your biggest success from last week, and then you're going to also share a new vegetable that you're going to try in the next week that you've never tried before. And then also share your meal plan / day that you're going to prep for this next week. So go ahead and break up. I'll be coming around.